777. Free literature. There's the guy. What's this?
And then it leaves you in a quandary. Do I offend them by not putting it out, or do I put it out and tell people that's up to you?
Well, that's where you take them aside, what I call common gospel. This is
Well, I kind of did, but
yeah, no, it's yeah, no, yeah, I was very impressed.
and then
It's one less,
then this spring
dish
he's
to,
going
not having to
and he got very
45
upset. He
minutes.
said, "No, you're not going."
You open it, it's still bubbling.
Yeah.
Put them in there and close it back up.
Right, yeah. Well, what I had to do was
But I think you're.
I made it on.
You take them to your big bowl, you cut up all kinds of vegetables, like radish, carrots, kale. And you put garlic.
He's 80.
Put ginger.
Let's see, he's what, about 86?
Put something.
Well, Pastor Taylor's nice.
Speed up. So I take either apple, mango,
Is that your
substitute.
No, it's
So,
I don't think it's that. We gotta try.
it may be the, it could be possibly the PowerPoint,
His wife.
I brought my.
Tom, your hummus is great. What you want?
Oh, thank you. I bought the news. I bought that well.
What's that?
Since I had picked up Leslie, my friend Leslie.
Another one?
What
Really deep, you guys? I had forgotten that I had this.
Local or?
No, she's from,
2 days in a row, if you don't mind.
she's up there.
No, we haven't get a chance to sit down. I'm serving you, Mary.
That's how it works.
Not a cat. Anybody here like cats?
Oh, love them.
Good, because you're gonna love this joke.
You should have brought a cat here.
Started in Sun City. This guy has a girlfriend and goes to visit her quite a bit, and every time he visits her, he's got to shoot the cat off the couch. Did you know this one before?
No.
Anyway, after like pretty tired of this, so one day when she's not at home, he takes the cat into Glendale, drops it off. Well, lo and behold, when he visits her again, the cat's still on the couch. Second time, decides to take the cat into Tempe, drops the cat at ASU. Figures some student's gonna fall in love with the cat and never see the cat again. Several days later, goes to visit his girlfriend, and the cat's waiting for him on the couch. Well, the third time, he decides to take the cat into the Grand Canyon. He's hiking. I mean, I don't know where he goes, but he's hiking. Anyway, he drops the cat off, and then he's hiking again, hours and hours and hours. Finally, he gets a phone signal. He calls his girlfriend. He says, "Honey, is the cat there?" She says, "Yeah." He said, "Put the cat on the phone. I'm lost." See, I have a theory. I only remember one joke, make it a good one, you know?
Yeah, I have a lot of them.
I didn't make that up. There's a guy named Jackie the jokester that made it up, but I changed.
I tried a little bite of each piece of each thing. I knew the little garlic. But now the persimmon.
But you know, not for 6 days in a row.
Do you guys have like a little farm somewhere, or what you have?
Oh my gosh.
Really? Yeah, I visit you guys sometime. No, but I hang around the neighborhood.
We sit down, we right off Glendale. You drive past our place, you'll see sheep in the front yard.
What's in your crackers?
All the trees are protected.
Black.
On the skin of it.
You said 35th?
45th.
45th?
Right off Glendale. You go by,
Where
Yeah,
I'm
this will be
taking
the
is
only
you-
one with a horse boarding sign.
you're living in a historic Arizona, because when I first came to Arizona back in the late 60s, early 70s, we lived in Mesa. And living in Mesa, I was kind of figuring out what's on the other side of the world, you know? So I remember one day taking Dad's car and driving into Glendale. I actually got lost in Glendale. Nothing but farms, okay? Doing all this different stuff. But I decided to like it, you know, as a youngster driving through Glendale, and here's what happened. I lost my wallet at the car wash. I needed money. What did you make?
Oh, the salad here with the noodles and it's got mangoes and pineapple and it's just really simple. But I made a sauce like avocados and lemon and stuff. Even celery. Yep, just celery.
Very good.
With squash, Mexican gray squash, and cucumbers. 2 kinds of cucumbers. Yeah. I want this. This is what I want.
What you do, yeah, you 2/3 of.
Oh man.
Well, these onions are fairly hard. And it's filled with water. And then turn it up to about 6 or 7 or so while you're doing it. And then you just.
I said, who you kidding? He got her billfold. I said, hey, Dixon, you got your billfold, just yogurt in there for him. I got somebody from base on my buddy.
Bell peppers. It's got bell pepper, orange bell pepper too. Tomato.
I thought, Joe, you guys from base. We do those things. From the base. I had to use it grind the flax until like.
Yeah.
Already, well, you ground.
No, I ground. I have
I'm gonna wonder how we ever stayed married.
That's because you guys laugh a lot, you know. I think that maybe it's the secret. We gotta learn, you know.
I think she finally figured him out, so she wasn't, you know.
Yeah, Mary Hardin doing good like a minute.
No, then your secret is laughter. It can't get any easier. Make Peter all over here, you know.
Break something. Get a new one.
I figured if I get married, you know. You can't laugh. I'm enjoying
We have more than one joke.
In one bag.
No, I have funny stories. No, seriously, I have a way of seeing things from different eyes, you know? And I could make comedy out of the life events, you know? That's
I know what it is. It's so good. It's the kiwi with the in the sauce. The kiwi with the avocado in the sauce.
But don't put me on stage. I mean,
on the lettuce there?
The sauce I made, I put kiwi in and avocado.
To be a good person on stage, to me, you have to be a
It's a
real
good
guy,
combination.
you know?
What's
Nope.
this Mexican sauce there?
I have no idea. I took a little bite of everything, so I knew everything had a little bit of garlic or something I didn't want in it. You know. Yeah.
It's like sauce.
There's like a salsa. Yeah. It's really interesting. All these dishes. I'm loving the persimmons.
Sorry, my hearing is not that.
Oh, I'm sorry, we went on this Carnival cruise and, the guy who was the MC, he asked that first night, who has been married so many years, you know, of course, we had to be the one that was married the longest.
My daughter, my son will put his
Yeah,
hand.
told.
Were you out?
Well,
Got ratted out.
Yeah, you know, on ship, they always have,
One time I didn't bring
Yeah, give it a-
whatever the zip and no
I
problem.
haven't found any ingredients to take. I think I'm gonna go.
And then I was
since
trying to
I
figure out
said,
what I wanted to make.
Here, go to cruise and be happy.
Yeah,
Cracker.
well, anyway, the next night we went, and it was, marriage,
I make,
marriage game.
well, that's a little
you know,
different, but I mean, all
TV.
Is this in your mind?
And so I was sitting there praying, because I said, Lord, I know you asked the most ridiculous. Please help him to forget us. And of course he did. He picked someone who had just gotten married.
We never put our.
Oh man, you want to be forgotten? I would have been like, hell yeah.
25 years.
Oh wow.
And he said, I met a couple last night, and been married longer than anybody else, and I shrunk. And he said, come on up on stage.
Oh, yeah, this is electric pressure.
So, you know, how do you get out of it? Everybody's
I've made rice and I've made my
and they asked some logical questions, you know, where's the weed and what was the date and you both remember that.
Wow.
When you got married.
And see, when I told him the first one, like, he said, how do you stay married?
Look at this. Look at this weird hummus with persimmon on it. On the hummus. On the lettuce. Oh.
I like that. Happy wife is a happy life.
Happy wife is a happy life.
Anyway, yeah.
Very hard. And use it like medicine, is that what she said?
Oh, and I worked in town car, you know, I didn't know that. And
Very hard, like a medicine.
him, he said, what did my wife say? Whatever she said, she's right.
She's right.
He said, we don't play the game like that.
It's a
The last question.
You can do brown rice and.
It was if you were out of the picture and your husband was sent to an island by himself, would he take a prostitute or a nun?
Oh, no.
Oh, thanks. Well,
You better get put in the spot, because it's
Said her name.
these things.
first I said, well, knowing him, I said, and then I said to him, can I change that? He wouldn't, surely he wouldn't say that. And I said, can I say a nun? You know, Catholic nun. And he said, well, yeah, I guess we can change that. And so when they asked him, he said, well, I think I would take a prostitute dressed as a nun. And he gave it to us because we both said both of them. So we won. And then he said, well, here's a bottle of champagne, enjoy that tonight. And Joseph, we don't drink champagne, we don't drink at all. And he said, well, just give it to someone else. So George people followed up, he said, you, like he's gonna throw it. He said, no, please don't throw the bottle.
Throw it off the boat. That's what I would have done. Throw it off the boat. Like,
Be happy with that bottle of apple cider.
that's his video. You seen it? They go throw it on the ground, and it's like a Sunday Live skit. And they're like, throw it on the ground, and he's like, he tried to give me a hot dog, and I threw it on the ground. He takes his kid's cake and he throws it on the ground. It's got, you know, like the eggs and milk and stuff in it. And these Hollywood stars are trying to have a dinner at some fancy restaurant. Oh, and they throw it on the ground, all their stuff, you know, phonies. Saturday Night Live, some skit on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, about throwing food on the ground and being vegan and stuff. I got it on my YouTube though.
In case there's any that don't work.
What are you doing? Playing a game?
Been with us all the time we've done this, from the very beginning. But for those who are new, this is, our speaker is Mary Russo. And she, like I said, she's been with us ever since we started, 6 years ago or 7 years ago, Mary?
6.5.
Six, see? I almost got it right, 6.5. And she's the one that lines up speakers and videos, and we have tried to get people to come and do demos. And everybody's afraid to come up here and do demos. You know, we all do something.
Well, Stan was
Stan-
really good. Yeah, he was amazing.
Dan did it.
He
Ron-
got better though in Mesa, I have to say that. He was much better in Mesa.
Practice makes perfect.
Well, when you're 20 miles from home, you're an expert. So.
And Rhonda gave us one, but we haven't really been able to get anybody else excited. And I know there's a
Well, I
lot
would
of
do it.
knowledge here that people need to share.
People want to hear what I have to say though.
Mary surprised me by saying, oh, I'm gonna do it. And I thought, oh, great, we have another person. So
Maybe.
give Mary a nice warm welcome. She has a lot to She's trying to make it easy for us, because she likes things like I do, simple and fast.
Eat for energy. Save time. Stretch the budget. Enjoy your food.
Camera and our PowerPoint.
In nature, plants and animals sustain naturally by eating food in their environment and appalling to their.
I'll stay here for most of the presentation. This is mostly for afterwards. Since we got this set up. So we'll work. Okay, thanks everyone for coming out. This is our 79th raw food potluck. As Pam mentioned, we've been doing this for about 6.5 years. And I've been involved with the raw food potluck movement since it started in Mesa in the year 2000. I didn't attend the very first potluck, but I attended the third one, and I've been part of the process ever since. So about 6.5 years ago,
2000.
Pam decided they wanted to branch to the west side of town, and they roped me in, basically. They asked if I would be interested in helping them to get speakers. And I've been doing that along with sending out your email announcements every month. So when those come, they originate from me, and if you're on Pam's list, she forwards them from her side. So I passed out some handouts today because I don't know what everyone was expecting me to talk about when I gave the title, but probably it was so simplified, that's why no one's here. But my pet peeve, if anybody's known me at all, is that the raw foodists, they get all excited about making this food, but they're all chefs. They love to spend the whole day in the kitchen, if it were. And then they like to give us recipes that have tons of ingredients, and they taste great, but I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really motivated when I see those recipes to go home and do it. It's just like, it's not gonna work for me. So for me, I've had to make things simple, easy, fast, and still keep it tasty to keep me motivated. So I'm going to share with you some of the findings and some of the thoughts along that way. All right, so the goals are, we're going to begin with the end in mind. We want to eliminate the hunger, but we want to keep the taste, right? We want to eat for energy, save time, stretch our budget, and we do want to enjoy what we're eating. So that's the good news. Health is life to the full. When I first started studying about health, I told people this is my passion. But you know what? Health entails so many areas of our life. And for me, health is life. Because if you don't have your health, even if you have life, it may not be the quality that you desire, that you can get the most benefit from. So what we see in health is, in life, we see in nature that plants and animals, they're sustained by their environment and their surroundings. But humans tend to drift from nature, and we make things in factories now. And so we put chemicals and additives and things that we can't pronounce in these foods. And this processed food is our bodies are not used to it. It's like putting Coca-Cola in a gas tank. It won't work. So our bodies know what fuels it can use, and if we don't give it the right fuel, it doesn't work right for us. So then it shows up in fatigue, weight gain, and things like that. It's like we're advancing here. And then ultimately symptoms of disease that take us down a road that we really don't want to choose. And if you don't choose to be healthy, then one day you're going to be forced to choose to be healthy when you can't do anything else. So this is the SMART group, though, and I have to preface this by saying that I feel in some ways that I'm really preaching to the choir, because you guys are experts in this, that have been coming regularly. You know how to make this stuff and how to make this lifestyle work. So in pursuit of abundance, the Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So what is the root cause that we can get to so that we are free and enjoying an abundant life? Well, I like to encourage everybody from the get-go. I am not a doctor. I'm not even a nutritionist. But everybody should start with their own blood tests and be assessed to know your own personal needs, because we are all different, and what's in the blood will not lie, because the blood is our life source. And now the tests may be accurate or not, depending on your doctor and your lab and all of that, but if it's really done appropriately, the blood work will tell you what your symptoms, what your problems are, and you probably have already seen red flags by what's going on in your body, and then you have something to identify, and you have a place to start. Okay, nutrition. Most Americans are starving because we're deprived of nutrition. So the good news is we need to eat. And this is what I was finding out. You might have seen in the bio, if you read the email, that I have done 3 40-day fasts. Well, I know, I don't look like a person that really needs to do fasting and cleansing, but I did it for spiritual reasons and for cleansing reasons. But the thing is, what I've found, and you know, through the years of study and research and whatever, is that we really, we need the nutrition. And so it's not that we should eat less, it's that we need to eat the quality that gives us the nutrition to sustain life, to give us the energy and the satisfaction that we need. And so as we're going through this, I'd like you to focus on the good things that we can have and not what we can't have. So the question is how and what. Okay, so I have this little formula, a couple of them. P plus F equals F. And then S plus S plus S plus S plus D equals F. Looks like, not until later.
Fill it in there. Uh-oh.
We'll get to it.
Gotta fill it in, man.
All right, if these are a little out of order, you can find them in your notes somewhere.
P plus F.
Okay, remind me
plus
if I don't cover that, I'll cover that formula later. Okay, kiss.
Covered now.
You need to kiss to fall in love with real food again. So, food can be delicious, but what I found is if you put someone in an environment like this Potluck, or if they go to some kind of a facility where they're being treated for some kind of healthcare issues, they'll eat what's in front of them, and they'll really enjoy it. So it may not be what they're used to, but most people, when the food is made correctly and given the proper way, most people really love this food. It's just, again, like I said earlier, the motivation to take it home and do it yourself. So with that in mind, with the simple theme in mind, I want to say that the word kiss means keep it simple and satisfying. Okay, so we have to mind our P's and our Q's. So we want to please our palate and our pocketbook, but we want to eliminate the Q's, which is questionable items. If you can't read, if you can't understand the ingredients on the label, if you think that it might be bad for you or have harmful ingredients, like if you're allergic to dairy or wheat or something like that, and it sounds like that's what it is, if there's a doubt, then leave it out. Dr. Daniel and Tana Amon, who I've been following on the Brain Warriors Way with the 26-week coaching program, they say, love the foods that love you back. And they also say, about this doubt and leave it out thing, they say, make the decision once when you're at the store to not bring it home. So then you don't have to keep making the decision with the temptation every time it's sitting in your cupboard or in driving home in your car or whatever. So if you make smart choices at the store and choose wisely, then that'll help you save money in your budget as well. And then let nothing go to waste. You can make leftovers, soups and salads. So I have to talk about what we're going to reduce and eliminate. And I didn't even want to have this slide because I wanted to just keep it positive. But I thought, well, people are going to want to know what we're aiming for. And this is not, by the way, to be a raw Buddhist. We took a showing of hands at a raw food conference once of how many people were actually raw. And guess who raised their hands? About 5
groups in Mesa at the beginning days. And those people were family members mostly of the ones that were hosting the potluck. So very few people are 100% raw. So everybody thinks, because I go to a raw food potluck, that I eat this way all the time, and I don't. But I do eat raw every day. I have a basic salad, I call it an everything everyday salad, and I'll tell you a little bit about that later. Okay, so reduce and with the arrow going toward eliminate. So we want to reduce the refined flour because over 80% of Americans are gluten sensitive, believe it or not. And chances are it's even higher than that, but this is the people that have been tested or been recorded in their surveys. And then refined flour, replace it with stevia. Dr. Daniel and Tana Amon even brought up questionable things with honey, agave, and some of these other things. In moderation, like a very tiny, a teaspoon, a tablespoon, in a large recipe, that's fine. But to use it as a regular seasoning, it can spike blood sugar, like some of the other sweeteners. Caffeine, switch to, if you are trying to get off of caffeine, half and half blending. You have half your coffee with half of some other decaf product at the store. I'd like to ask to keep questions till the end.
Okay.
So just jot down on your little papers, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. Jot down on your little paper, some things that you wanna ask later. I will take questions and answers at the end.
You won't jot down on the paper.
So I wanna be sure
Not
you guys are all
questions.
paying attention, because I will get garden goddess ferments, and they're online, and you can even order and have it shipped to your home. So it's really a wonderful thing. They're at the farmers markets around town. They're in some of the stores like Healthy Habit, and hopefully they're gonna get into Sprouts and Whole Foods. That's my hope for them, because they're an excellent company. And they make theirs a little different than Stan. Stan had his more whole vegetables where you could chew them, and theirs are more, they look more like sauerkraut. They're more compacted and shredded.
The hard work is done. You just follow the recipe and put the list
So all of your
in,
nuts are here, and your seeds are here, and then you mix the two.
and then you put in whatever seasoning you
That's
want,
all your extra.
and it just takes a few minutes. I would like to know what other people do ahead of time to make a recipe. It's like a Bisquick.
Yeah, I know.
And,
It
you know, I don't use Bisquick or anything, but I'm trying to come up with more ideas where I can do a whole bunch of the work ahead of time and put it aside, so I don't have to do the rinsing, the soaking, the dehydration, the grinding, and then make the recipe. So I'd love some more ideas. If other
And one
people-
thing that you said that also saves money probably is buying in bulk.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we can put something in that category. But that was a great idea. So do you spend a day or a half day or whatever until it's done dehydrating, and you just fill all your racks with the
Well, when I
nuts?
go to the store, I buy certain things in bulk and I know how much I want. I go home, I soak them overnight,
Right,
okay?
but I'm saying, you
Well,
said you dried them. I'm asking how long and how is that drying
Well, what I
process?
do is I soak them overnight and then I rinse them in the morning, put them in my dehydrator. Sometimes all I need is just the fan blowing, because they don't have to be dry and hard. They just need to be, so they're not soaking wet. And then
Then you grind them and you freeze them.
yeah, and I'll leave them in the dehydrator while I'm at work, and then I put them in the fridge, grind them that night when I come home from work, and put them in the freezer.
So they're dehydrating at least 8 hours.
Yeah, so it's not hard.
Yeah.
It's just, all I have to do is maybe do that once every couple of months,
Yeah,
and I have this
that's good.
prepackaged recipe almost ready to go.
Anybody
So I
else?
need some other recipe ideas in
Yes.
some way.
Dixie, you do this all the time. What do you got going?
Well, improving taste. I was at
Alright.
a store one time and I was looking for certain, spices. And there was a man there and we were both looking, couldn't find ours. And I said, well, what are you looking for? If we both look for each other's, maybe we'll find it faster. And he said, I'm looking for tarragon and coriander. And he said, I have heard if you put them in anything, it makes it better. And I said, well, I'm gonna try that. And I have really found that
The two of them
really
together?
good together.
What's it called?
What kind
Coriander
of seasoning
and,
is that
tarragon.
mixture? Is that kind of an Italian?
I'm not,
Mexican or?
I'm not,
Indian.
but the coriander, you know, they always
It's from
say
India.
that that was like the manna. I've heard that many times, that
Oh.
coriander tasted like the manna. And also when I'm cooking, I always put a little bit of lemon and a little bit of maple syrup in everything. It just brings out.
Dixie, how much tarragon and coriander do you use? Just a little bit or?
Oh, I use cold it.
Oh, okay.
You'll have to experiment and see what you think, because I think it depends on the taste. But they have really made a difference in the things that
And then you use
Okay,
maple syrup
As far as
And
improving
lemon
taste,
and
I have
everything.
several ideas. One, I use dates instead of the maple syrup. I fell in love with dates.
okay.
And dates are, really has twice, 2.5 times potassium than bananas do. The other thing I like is mint and cilantro. And I find that the variety, when you take fresh mint, cilantro, parsley, and you can put it in like quinoa, for example, and make a wonderful salad with a few vegetables. Those three, I mean, they really add, and then if you put a little lemon or olive oil, but the main thing is that those delicious herbs, by blending them and chopping them up, it really makes everything taste so much wonderful. All the herbs are great, Basil, they have holy basil, they have varieties of basil that's unlimited.
The thing I like to do is take buckwheat and soak it overnight and then sprout it. It takes a couple days to sprout. And then dehydrate it and they become buckwheaties. So it could be used as a topping or it's a substitute for grape nuts. I mean, they have a nice crunchy taste, so you can use it as a cereal, as a snack.
So you soak the buckwheat
Soak the buckwheat overnight, and then you, I use a wire, strainer and put a towel over it and just moisten it a couple times a day, and it sprouts in a couple days, and then just dehydrate it.
I like
Store it.
that buckwheat idea, it's a great idea.
Oh,
Buckwheaties.
Buckwheaties, yeah.
Oh.
Now, the ultimate question there is, will that affect people that have gluten sensitivity? Because some people are still sensitive to even that.
When it's
But
sprouted, it does change.
You have to
its
test it
complexion.
yourself.
I don't know, yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens when it's sprouted, what happens is the carbohydrates convert more into simpler sugars. There is a conversion process, so there's a lot of things that are glutinous that once they're sprouted, they become much less glutinous. Depending on how sensitive you are. They become much less glutinous, but it depends on how sensitive you are to gluten.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Any other ideas?
On his
we have one.
buckwheat idea,
Wait, the
I'm sorry.
gentleman, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know, all I know is from the discussion I had with Fernando, and he was a big advocate of eating blueberries. And I'd like to know when's the best time to eat blueberries. Is it better to juice them, or is it better just to eat them in your mouth and chew them up? And the other thing is, I've been eating the nuts, but not leaching them. And is that just with plain water that you leach them, and then you eat them the next day? I'm just not familiar with that. So I've been eating the nuts in a regular steak.
You eat nuts when?
You didn't do anything to them.
I don't do anything to them,
Oh, okay,
just
without
eat them.
soaking. Okay. They're easier to digest when you soak them, which is what we call sprouting them, because they grow, so you get more. And they're just easier to digest, like this gentleman was saying, they change composition. And that's what people with raw food do. If a nut can be soaked, not all nuts really can be soaked.
So
Has anybody
what do you
tried to
soak?
a
I'm asking
Brazil
what
nut?
you soak them in.
You can soak cashews.
Vodka.
Has anybody tried to soak almonds?
Vodka?
you wouldn't need to
What-
soak pecans.
What kind of vodka?
Yeah, but walnuts you can soak, almonds, cashews.
For how long? A whole day?
Sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and flax seeds. chia seeds, most of that stuff can be soaked.
The whole day?
Some stuff won't germinate, that's for sure.
They're all
Seeds
different, you need a
and
chart, and I don't
cashews,
have
just
that.
a short time, like a
Okay, let's
couple
keep
hours,
one
but almonds and
conversation.
walnuts overnight.
Okay. Tell me your name again.
Me?
Yeah.
Robert.
Robert, okay.
There's numerous articles online that will back this up, and that is when you soak your nuts, you really want to use a Himalayan or some type of a really good salt, just a sprinkle to soak it. It really makes it much more digestible. Most people don't know this, but you can find it online, you back it up. And it's the same thing when you're soaking seeds. You want to use like either apple cider vinegar or a medium like that, because there's a lot of protein inhibitors. People don't realize that, and they're digesting these, they're trying to digest these foods that have inhibitors that will not allow you to absorb the magnesium. And you want to really basically absorb your nutrition properly. So I'm not just talking out of my head. You can find these articles online,
Right, you can.
and you can find a lot of information on it.
Definitely, thank you.
So,
Okay, should we go on?
yeah,
Yep.
so I'd like to
More?
ask another
One
question.
final?
Yeah. I mean, I'm reading a lot of stuff about reducing blood sugar, and apple cider vinegar comes up all the time, okay?
Mhm.
So I wanna know if you're gonna leach your nuts, or whatever you call it. You're saying the best way to do it is with,
Soak 'em.
some kind of purified water with a little bit of apple cider
Not the
vinegar.
nuts, salt with the nuts and
And Himalayan salt,
Yeah.
apple cider vinegar.
apple cider vinegar with the seeds.
How much apple cider vinegar?
Just a pinch, just a little bit.
And it stays the whole day, or?
Well, and then you're gonna rinse when you're done, so I don't think, it's not gonna have the flavor of it.
No, well, here's the thing.
Yeah, it
A
just
lot of people
purifies
are, there's a lot of talk about E. coli in sprouting, and if you want to eliminate that for sure, the apple cider vinegar, because of the nature of the pH, okay, will stop that.
I had heard you could do it with hydrogen peroxide too.
Yeah, but why not
you
with
have-
hydrogen peroxide?
Right.
And if you're getting a food
This is
grade,
easier and it's, yeah, it's really good.
So when's the best time to eat the berries?
E. coli.
Time to eat
blueberries.
them?
Yeah, since it's high in
Most people
sugar.
have them in their smoothies in the morning at breakfast. The Dr. Daniel Amen and Tana, they suggest that your night meal is not real high in
Sugar.
any sugar. You want it to be lighter, and you don't, you know. Also, I'm glad you mentioned that. I wanted to mention when we were on the PowerPoint, which we're going to go back to, we just have a few more slides, that when you saw the snacks I had, is this going to stay?
Snacks. Uh-oh.
You always want it, like that apple, when you had it with the almond butter, it's gonna eliminate that sugar rush, that glycemic thing. So when anytime you have, and apples aren't really that high, but anytime you have a fruit, they say to have nuts with it, or something with it to counteract the glycemic rush. Okay, so, well, now I need the light back on, and my
No.
projector.
I got a book. Nuts about no nuts. He gave us this book, and there's a DVD in there. But look at this. Man, we could like. It's too much.
Well, I got it.
great guy, I'm telling you, very artistic, very creative.
Can you get into here? Yeah. And this stuff. Is there anything about the diet? Yeah, let's see it. Suffering with job. This looks cool. No. All right. And you saw some compromises. I mean, I don't know. It's not smart. What's smart? It's all right. I got this book. That's really cool. A book from George and Peggy. That's so cool. But there's a larger. You saw the larger message, right? People, they just don't know. It's like I could speak my truth, but what would it do? make some people angry. They couldn't sell stuff, but they put a lot of energy into making all that stuff, right? So it's like, now we're going to talking about this at the market today. Kenny said they got 100% organic down there. This used to be the Fresh and Easy that is that called Fresh and Easy? Whatever it was that English grocery store that I helped put in